Some days you feel unstoppable, and some days you wonder, am I really cut out for this? Ahoy, and welcome to another episode of The Captain's Log. This week, I wanted to talk about the roller coaster of entrepreneurship. Now, if you're a business leader or a CEO, or you're starting your own business, maybe you've been in your business a number of years now, or maybe you're even a leader in a big organization navigating some kind of change. What tends to happen is some days you wake up and you feel like you are absolutely crushing it. Everything's going really well. Everything's completely in flow. The team's working well together. You're sealing deals. You're landing projects. The transformation's going well. Everything seems to be going exactly as planned. And then the next day, you might wake up and things are very different. You might wake up and you feel, everything's going completely wrong. Nothing's working out. You start doubting yourself. You start asking questions, am I really cut out for this? Am I in the right career? Maybe you get a little bit of imposter syndrome. And this is perfectly normal, and a lot of entrepreneurs will experience this. And the funny thing about this state between heaven and hell, this difference between, I'm absolutely crushing it to what the hell am I doing with my life? This switch can happen within a 24-hour period. And I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not the only one who can experience this. I'm sure this is very common because I hear it a lot from clients and friends and other people who are navigating life through, by choosing to go their own path or to take on a lot of responsibility. And I think this can be a little bit of a trap, of getting stuck in these down days and actually also in these really top peaks, because what goes up must come down and what goes down must also go up at some point. There's always a season, a winter, an autumn, a spring and a summer as well. It's all cyclical. But what tends to happen is that if you zoom in, and we tend to do this, we zoom right into the problems or the peaks of the successes. And either one of those, it's a trap when you do that. The only way that you can really see transformation or progress is if you actually zoom out. You've got to zoom out. You've got to not compare to what happened yesterday or the day before, or compare to where you think you should be, or to where somebody else is, or what other organization is doing, or a competitor, or this, that, or the other. You cannot do that. You have to zoom out and look through this lens of a wider picture to see the transformation in its entirety. You can only really compare your situation to where you were a year ago, 2 years ago. And that's the only real measure of if you're moving in the right direction. The truth is that transformations are not linear. Some days you could be taking 2 steps back, 3 steps back, and you might take a couple of steps forwards the next day. You might have a few failures, you might learn a few lessons on the way. And the main thing is that you're keeping that vision, that future version of yourself or your organization in mind, front of mind. That becomes your anchor, that becomes your guide. And for some reason we tend to do that. We tend to beat ourselves up. I know I do. I'm also a Virgo. I don't know if you believe in that kind of stuff, in horoscopes and all that, but I tend to really beat myself up on where I think I should be. I mean I'm getting better at not doing that, but I think that's something that it's a pattern that I'm training myself out of. And we do that as human beings for some reason. See, the thing is, these external events, whether they're wins or losses, will fluctuate. And the real question is, how do we stay centered amidst it all? If we tie our sense of worth to whether something is going well or it's not going well from a perceived state from the organization, or that, you feel like you're not making progress, then you're allowing this external factor to always be the measure of your worth, of your value. And this will end up impacting you in other ways, right? This is a snowballing effect. You might not be charging enough. You might not be putting your hand up for positions that you should probably be pushing for because you can add value there. You might be feeling imposter syndrome. These are snowballing effects. If you tie your sense of worth to the highs and the lows of your business, you will always be on shaky ground. So the real trick is to actually create the internal stability to create that sense of worth within yourself. We need to be adaptable and able to stay stable when the conditions outside of ourselves are changing. Now, for me, that looks like things like training. I have to go to the gym. I have to go and work out. I have to get to the kettlebells and throw some bells around. I have to do that. Jiu-jitsu is really good too for the brain. It really tires you out, and it's a really good form of exercise and mental stimulation. I have to eat well. I have to get good sleep. I have to be eating protein. If I'm eating sugar and carbs all the time, my brain's going crazy and I can't keep my mind focused. So there are these things tools that I will use to help me to stay stable and in line with my goals and not to have these big peaks and troughs. They still happen, but I'm getting a lot better at navigating them and have a lot more tools at my disposal. And now those are all external things, right? Those are all things that I do outside myself, training, whatever. But there's also the other things you can do, such as meditation, choosing something to help you focus your mind. I also don't let myself, if I've had a really big win and I feel like I'm crushing it, there's also the trap too of going up there, celebrating. Me and an ex-colleague of mine, business partner of mine, we would do this too. We would get really excited about something, and then we would go out and we would just drink and party and have a great time. And then, of course, what's going to happen? We end up coming crashing down, and we've probably done some stupid things that evening that just make us feel terrible. And then you end up in this really low kind of like shame spiral. That's kind of what I used to do. So I also don't let myself get really up there with a celebration of things as well. Like, yeah, celebrate the wins, but, do it in a healthy way. That's also very destructive. Now, on the other side of that, it also means to not judge your down days. If you are feeling low, don't let your brain trick you into thinking that is your state, that is what is going on in your world. Your brain's going to do everything it can to try and trick you. So don't listen. Wind out, go out, zoom out, have a look at the bigger picture, right? I like to keep notes on these things. I like to have mood boards and keep notes of where I was this time last year, what I was up to, what was in my bank account, what was I looking like physically on a physical level, what was my mind state like. Go back and have a look and reflect on these things. Now, if you are in a dip, just remember this is your opportunity to pause and recalibrate and center yourself before you catch the next wave. You can't control the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial roller coaster, but you can control how you handle it. Build your anchors, stay connected, take care of your nervous system, and that will ensure that you will weather any storm that comes your way. So here are the reflective questions for this week. Where are you on the roller coaster right now? Are you on the climb, the drop, or somewhere in between? What's one daily anchor that helps you stay grounded when things get rocky? And who could you reach out to this week to remind you that you're not riding this alone? And if that resonated, do click like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in more insights and connecting with a community of leaders like yourself who are navigating change, especially in a world that's experiencing so much change as right now, do join the leadership community. The link is in the bio on the YouTube channel. And it's a whole community, it's a whole crew of people like yourself who are in there together, riding those waves, those up and down waves of entrepreneurship and leadership. And it's a great space to connect and share ideas and navigate together. So you're not riding those waves alone. And until next week, stay steady, Captain. Hold fast.